Hey besties, welcome back to Living My Best Life with Lisa Marie. I'm Lisa Marie. Today I am participating in Santa's Travel Around the World Christmas collab hosted by DECO Easy. I'll tell you more about that later in the video. And I can't wait to show you our Christmas DIYs. Let's get started. If I mention that I got something at Amazon, there will be a link in my description box for my Amazon store and you can find it there if it's something that you need to. For this DIY, I'm using this adorable little sled I got at the Target dollar spot for $5. I am also going to use these evergreen picks that I got on Amazon, and they are such a great deal. And then these are some Dollar Tree picks or pieces from a pick, as are the next ones I'm going to show you with the frosted and the little snowballs on them. And then I've got these little pine cones. I think I got those at Dollar Tree too. Now I'm going to sand around every possible edge on this, and you can see here now, including the back, because I wanted to give it a bit of a distressed look. But I am going to dry brush it with white everywhere that I have sanded, and then a little bit in all the other spots as well. And I think that just makes it look like it has a little bit of snow on it, and that's what I wanted. Now here it is, all distressed, and I love the way it looks. Next, I'm going to take these 3 evergreen picks and see exactly how wide they should be to fit on my sled. I'm going to use a little bit of jute twine and tie the 3 together so that they hold in place while I work on them. And then I'll just cut off the extra twine. I'm going to take those Dollar Tree picks and position them where I want them and hot glue them on. Now this is something that you can completely customize to your own style, whatever you have on hand, and so it doesn't have to look just like this if you decide to recreate it. This is just the way I thought it looked good, so just some inspiration. Once I get all 3 or 4 of those pieces on, I'm ready to move on to the other little picks, and I'm just going to, like I said, put them wherever I think they would look good, and I'm using hot glue to attach them. Next, I'm going to place my little pine cones, and I love these little pine cones. They are so cute, and they're already a little bit flocked, but I will do more later. These kind of things you really have to hold for a second to let the hot glue set up, otherwise they kind of fall, so you gotta wait. Now I've got these snowballs that a friend gifted me, and I'm going to place them just kind of randomly all around. And then I'm going to take my little baby snowballs, and I'm going to also place them wherever, because I want it to look like snow has just fallen all over this little swag. Now I'm going to take my linen white chalk paint, and I'm going to flock everything. And look at that. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I love it. Now I'm going to figure out where exactly I'm going to attach it on the sled. I know I want it up high because I want you to still be able to see most of the sled and the snowflake. Before I attach that with hot glue, I'm going to get my little bow maker out, and I'm going to use about 4 or 5 different ribbons that I think will look really pretty with this. And I'm just going to use my bow maker and wrap it around back and forth until I get a big full bow worth of ribbon. I'm not a great bow maker, so that's why I have a bow maker. I got it on Amazon, and even with the bow maker I could still use some help. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about the bows because it's just not the thing that I do the best, so I don't want to lead you astray. There are many other channels that do amazing bows, and maybe someday I'll get there too. Once I have all the ribbon on, I'm going to take a black zip tie, put it underneath the middle, and then I'm going to pull it, but not super tight until I remove it from the bow maker. So I'm going to pull out my little pegs, and then I'm going to take the bow off, and then I'm going to position it better, and then I will pull the little zip tie as tight as I possibly can. And then I'll trim off that little excess piece on the zip tie. Now there's my bow before I fluff it. And I start fluffing it. The thing is, you have to fluff it more than one time. So I'm fluffing it right now just to see what it might look like. And then I'm going to fluff it again. There's the first round of fluffing. And then I'm going to wrap a piece of that really pretty black ribbon with the silver squirrely things on it. Just going to wrap a little piece around the center to cover the zip tie and make it look like it has a nice little pretty center. I'm just going to hot glue that right on there. Nobody will ever know. And then once that is fully secured, it looks so pretty in the middle to have that kind of finished off look. I really love that. If you like to watch videos while you craft, I have a mega video playlist down in my description box, and you should check that out. Now I'm going to fluff again, just because I put that center on and that kind of threw things off. I'm going to dovetail the ends, of every single ribbon that's hanging down. And now I'm going to go ahead and attach my little swag to the very top of the sled using a generous amount of hot glue and holding it for a while. I'm also going to hot glue my bow right there on top of that swag. And then I fluffed it again and kind of did a little tweaking, and there is the bow. And then on the back in the holes, I had removed some jute twine. I'm going to add some white mop head strand because it matches, and I'm going to tie a couple knots and attach it to both sides. You guys, I love how this turned out. It's so pretty. I am so excited to be part of the Santa's Travel Around the World Christmas collab with all of these amazing crafters. There is so much talent in this group. You've got to watch the playlist. It'll be down in my description box. You will get tons of inspiration. Our hosts are Deco Easy. It is Johnny and Diane, and they are the sweetest duo. You will love them. Please check out their channel. I'll have their channel link down in the description box. You won't want to miss them. If you've come over from one of the other channels, welcome.
It's great to meet you. I love to create things from all different styles. I love to try new things, and I love to inspire you to do the same. So if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And I hope to see you again in my next video.
For this DIY, I was using a styrofoam cone that I got on Amazon, and I spray painted it with an emerald green spray paint. And I'm going to use some Potpourri, 2 different kinds from the Dollar Tree. And by the way, this was a craft that I did with the styrofoam cones with the senior group recently, and they loved it. I'm going to hot glue different kinds of potpourri all around. I'm going to kind of make patterns. If you do this, you can do any pattern you want, any scent of potpourri, whatever you want. I'm going to poke a hole in the top, and I'm going to add this little, I don't know what it is, but this little piece of something. I end up taking it out because it looks too small. And now I'm going to add in the other potpourri because I love all the different colors and scents, and they go together so well. One of the cool things you could do with this is put it in your bathroom because you can smell the scent of the potpourri. So if you want to decorate your bathroom for Christmas, this would be a really functional way to do it. It's like having an air freshener. And I'm just going to continue with whatever pattern I decide to do. I kind of pick through them and find kind of like pieces, and then I go around and do my rows based on whatever pattern I decided, for that. So I'm not going to make you watch me do all of it because it took a little while, but I'll just kind of periodically stop and show you what's going on, and you can just see. But honestly, you could do this any way you want. Some of these had little like strands of, I don't know, fiber. So I had to kind of trim it up just a little bit. It's not really that big of a deal though. It's so nature inspired and it's so beautiful. It's very non-traditional, but I really love it because the potpourri becomes the ornaments on the tree, and that is so much fun. And now that I got to the top, I'm so happy with it, but that little top piece just isn't cutting it. So I am going to pull it out. Of course, when I do, I rip some of the styrofoam because it was hot glued, but that's okay because I'm going to use this larger pine cone, which is more proportionate to this piece. I'm just going to trim around the top so it's a little more flat, and then I'm going to hot glue that pine cone on there, hold it for a bit to make sure it really stays. Are you guys over on social media? You can find me on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. Hope to see you there. I think this looks so much better. I'm glad I decided to change it. That other one was just way too small. Now I want to have a base, so I'm going to take this wood slice that I got from Hobby Lobby and some wood glue, and that container I got on Amazon. It's really nice. You can put really inexpensive glue in there and then use it for a long time. And then I'm going to add some hot glue as well so that I can get it to hold right away while I wait for the wood glue to set up. I'm just going to set it right on top, press it down firmly, and then I have this adorable base. You guys, I love this. It's just so sweet and, full of nature. And let me tell you, it smells so good. I'm going to use this little non-slip pad that I got at the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to hot glue it to the bottom because that way if it is in the bathroom and it gets wet, it won't affect the wood. It'll have a base there. So I just hot glued that on, and then I took my little scissors and I just cut all the way around. And really, that's it. This one is done. It's so pretty, it's functional, and it's the nicest air freshener I may have ever seen, if I don't say so myself. This DIY is super easy. I got this house from the Target dollar spot. It was a set of 3. I'm going to use this placemat from Dollar General and that little wood slice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace around and cut out the shape of the house onto the back of the placemat. And I'm going to use my little rotary cutter from Dollar Tree, and also off camera some scissors just to trim it up even more. Then I'm going to go ahead and hot glue it right onto the very top of the house. Then I'm going to take my little scissors and cut around the edges and just trim any excess. I got it pretty close, but there's always a little bit that you miss. So I just went ahead and took care of that. Then I'm going to take my little wood round and this little window cling from the Dollar Tree. I am going to trim it even more. And I'm going to put Mod Podge first on top of the wood slice because, they're pretty rough, and I just want to try to fill in some of those little, rough pieces so that the window cling will go on nicely. I'm going to put that right on top and then add Mod Podge to the top to seal it in. And it's just so cute. Of course, when it dries, it is clear, so you can see the little tree when it's all done. There it is. And now I'm going to kind of decide where I might want to place it, which I decide on the very center. But I feel like it still needs something a little more, even though it's super easy. And I've got this little bell garland that I got, I think it was from Hobby Lobby or Dollar General, I'm not sure. And I'm going to wrap it around several times and hot glue it periodically just to surround the little wood slice because I think it looks so cute and festive. Then I'm going to take some faux leather that's from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use the brown, and I'm going to hot glue that all the way around, and I'm going to have the seams meet right in the center of the front because the wood slice will cover it. So I'm just going to hot glue at every little corner. I don't want to put a lot because you can kind of see the bumps through the faux leather. So if you just put it like a little dab right where you need it and kind of flatten it out, then you won't see like a little bump every time you have put the glue somewhere. And I'm leaving the back and the sides natural wood because I just think that looks really, really cool with this, especially with the wood slice. It's just very, very rustic. And now that I've got my little faux leather on, I'm going to trim that. There's a little bit of excess, and then I will just attach it right there in the center. And then all that's left to do is glue on the wood slice to the top. I'm going to use quite a bit of hot glue because I want to make sure that this stays, but I don't think it really requires E6000 because it's not bearing any weight. And I think this turned out super cute. It was very easy. Well, I hope you guys like it. I found this little tree at Salvation Army, and although it is very cute, I just wanted to do something different. It only cost $1.99, but it was also on a discount, so it was less than that. I'm going to cut off that ribbon because I couldn't unknot it no matter what I did, but that's okay. I might still be able to use it. And then I'm going to use my crud cutter and clean it off because, it was at a thrift store. Then I'm going to take a screwdriver and I'm going to take apart the 2 pieces. It was just a screw, and that way I can paint everything and not worry about, how I'm going to make that work. I'm going to take the tree, I'm going to paint it white or linen white with my Rust-Oleum chalk paint, and I'm going to do 2 coats of that to make sure I cover that green really well. And there it is. And I could have just left it like that. It's so pretty. Now I'm going to take the base, and I'm also going to paint that white, and that's more of a base. They're both as a base coat because I needed to cover up the darker. And then I'm going to, paint them different colors. I'm going to take the little base, and I'm going to use my Fern chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm going to paint that. I just think that color is so pretty. And then with the tree, I tried doing red polka dots, and I did not like the way it looked, so I painted it all over with red, and it's called Flag by Folk Art. I'm going to put the pieces back together, and again, I could have stopped right here. It's just very pretty and festive, but I did want to do some more. So I've got this bell garland that I got from Dollar General, I'm pretty sure, and I just wrapped it around and glued it here and there just to make it stick where I wanted it to, just like a garland on a tree. Then I'm going to take these two bells. Unfortunately, one was silver and one was white. So I'm going to use some jute twine. I'm going to tie them through their loops and then attach them to the very top with hot glue and wrap the twine around a few times to make it really secure. And then I'm going to take some silver metallic paint from Folk Art and I'm going to paint the white one and make it silver. And then I'm also going to go over the top of the silver one so that they match. And I did do a couple coats because it does take a little bit. I've got this joy ornament. I believe it's from the Dollar Tree. And I've got this staple remover I got off Amazon that works really well for these things. And I'm going to take off the little staples and the twine. I'm going to use my burnt umber paint by Apple Barrel and paint the back because you will see it. And, you know, I just feel like I had to do that. And then I'm going to hot glue it directly to the very base of the tree. And then I'm going to add another bell, but this time I'm going to leave it silver because it's not right next to the other bells. And then I'm going to add some little berries and it will be so cute when it's all done. And honestly, that's it. It's that easy. I love this. It's very festive, but as easy as can be. And now for one last look at all 4 of these Christmas DIYs. I'm so happy with how they turned out. They were very, very easy to make, very inexpensive and budget friendly. Also, I can't wait to go watch that playlist and see all of that inspiration. Don't forget it's down in my description box. I'll have the link there for you. And also go check out Deco Easy, our host channel. They're very talented and super fun ladies. I just hope you guys enjoy all of this as much as I did. What a fun collaboration. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I want you to know that you are a blessing to me.
If you like this video, I'll put a couple more up on the screen that I think you'll really like, so feel free to check them out.